What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So hopefully you're having a wonderful Sunday so far, but let's get into what is going to happen this week. So this week is going to be a critical week in negotiations. We know that the Biden administration dropped their initial offer for the infrastructure package from $2.25 trillion down to $1.7. Well, the Republican negotiators want to stay between $600 and $800 billion, but some reports do indicate that they will go up as high as $1 trillion. However, according to multiple lawmakers, Republicans, by the way, they're not so keen on going up that high. They want to stay a little bit lower because they just want to address pure infrastructure. That is it. This week, we will see more negotiations happen kind of as we move throughout the week, and we will see what happens over the next probably 2 weeks leading up to a major date, which I'm going to address in just a minute. But what we know is that right now, we're going to see different groups push different priorities to try to get them included into President Biden's infrastructure package. But right now, many lawmakers are just trying to figure out what their next move is, what their next plan is, and how they can get the current administration to buy into what they are proposing. So here's what I mean by everything that we are going to see this week. According to a handful of reports just out this weekend, a large group of lawmakers want to see what the next jobs report looks like. Okay, so they want to see the next jobs report. That does not come until June 4th. That is the first Friday of the next month. So June 4th is going to be that critical date. Many lawmakers are looking at this day. They say they want to see what the next jobs report looks like before they commit to additional or less infrastructure or some stimulus in the next bill. They also want to see what the jobs report looks like to determine if we do need additional stimulus, how much should be needed and where should it go? Should it be a stimulus check? Should it be unemployment benefits? Right? Those are just questions. Those are just things and topics that lawmakers are currently discussing. But the jobs report won't come out until June 4th, which means we have about another 12 days before we know what lawmakers are truly looking at. Again, this is just the first date. And then lawmakers are going to put together their proposals and their plans moving forward after that. So we will see what happens. But right now, a few economists believe that another poor jobs report, just like we saw for this past month, okay, if we see this again, this will, according to these economists, will require the Biden administration to put together another stimulus package and combine it with the infrastructure bill. So here's why this is so important. Experts warn that passing a $4.1 trillion infrastructure package, or even let's pull off that $500 billion that Democrats pretty much gave to Republicans. Let's pull that off. So let's put it at $3.6 trillion. At $3.6 trillion in infrastructure alone, this would not leave anything or very small amount for stimulus, because experts say that if we see another $3 to $4 trillion in spending, that this would actually this would send the United States into hyperinflation. That is not something that we want to see. That's something nobody wants to see. But it is currently in discussions. There's a lot of talks that we're going to see hyperinflation sometime this summer. And it all stems off of, will we see a large infrastructure package? Will we see additional stimulus? Will the federal government step in and cancel unemployment benefits before we see them pretty much go out of control? And again, those are all talks, but there's really no action at this point. So what I can tell you is that this is where the Biden administration will be tasked with either paring down the infrastructure package in order to make room for additional stimulus, or they will keep the infrastructure package as it is, hope it passes, and the issue is there won't be any stimulus. So we'll see infrastructure, no stimulus, okay? So the problem that we're going to see at this point is what is going to be in the next jobs report. What will be the unemployment rate at that time? If it goes up, experts do say that we will need to see additional stimulus. If it goes down, experts say we need to get rid of the discussions of stimulus from lawmakers because this is only causing the, especially Wall Street, to speculate that we are going to see massive amounts of inflation very soon. So again, June 4th is going to be the starting date, but we're going to get more reports after that. So just want to be 100% clear. June 4th is not stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, click that like button, because on June 4th, I'm going to reveal some breaking news. No, that's not the case. The truth is June 4th should be that starting date. We're going to get new negotiations up until then for the next 12 days. But honestly, the real truth is going to come out on June 4th when we see that report. So I will in the morning. I'm always up. I'm always doing planning out the next video, the time that the report does drop. So I will do kind of a evaluation of what we're going to see for that day. So make sure you do tune in on June 4th because I will bring you that update as well. But here's something else that we need to talk about as well. We are continuing to see a strong push from Democrats for additional stimulus checks. They want to see additional checks, and a lot of them want to see $2,000 per month checks. Many of them just want to see $2,000 as a one-time payment check, and then some just want an additional check, and they haven't really, said the exact amount. But right now, we are getting more reports that more and more lawmakers are urging President Biden to step forward and provide recurring stimulus checks, but yet they don't really address, should it be a stimulus check? Should it be additional unemployment benefits? Should we extend the child tax credits? Should we provide, people that do not have children with some type of stimulus check or some type of additional assistance? That's what's currently being discussed. That is what a lot of lawmakers want, is we need to get rid of the talks on stimulus checks, because it's not just a stimulus check. This is more of a well-being assistance. This is more of a survival check. This isn't just to stimulate the economy. It's to get the American people back on their feet. That's what's currently being discussed. Yes, propping up the economy is great. It's something that we need. But at the same time, how can you prop up the economy when you see millions and millions of people living in poverty? And so, this afternoon, that's kind of what we're hearing, is lawmakers want to see the economy doing really well. They want to see it thriving. Many say that, back under the Trump administration, it was thriving. And then we obviously hit this pandemic and everything went, kind of under, and it tanked. But what we are hearing is that from Democrats' point of view is that President Biden and the Biden administration need to lead us back into this thriving economy, or else they risk that President Biden, if he decides to rerun for president, he might not be reelected. There might be a different candidate that would be better positioned to put the economy back to where it once was. So we don't know if that would be former President Donald Trump. We don't know if that would be somebody else from the Republican Party or from the Democratic standpoint. But right now, what I can tell you is those are part of the discussions. And right now, Democrats are planning and willing to do anything they can to make sure President Biden stays in office, to make sure Democrats will hold the majority in the Senate and the House in the upcoming election. They're going to do everything they can. If this means they overspend, then they're willing to do that. But then we got centrist Democrats like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema that say, no, we can't do that. We can't afford that. We need bipartisan support. So we'll see. Also, what we do know is that last week, multiple lawmakers came out again last week, in addition to this group that sent a letter to President Biden, but many came out and just in public, into the media and said that we need additional stimulus. That they came out saying that the jobs report from April was a sign that additional stimulus was needed. And this is even something that President Biden himself said, that all the progress we have made thus far was because of stimulus. And so additional stimulus may be needed. So will this mean additional checks are coming? Could we see an additional check, sometime in June, July, August, September? Maybe. But honestly, right now, we're going to keep a close eye on this, because right now there are things starting to shift. Some things are shifting more towards no, we're not getting additional stimulus check because the economy is rebounding. But other things like, unemployment is about to expire, so maybe we're not going to extend that, but let's provide an additional stimulus check. So some things are yes, we will get an additional check. Other things are no, absolutely not. There's no reason for them. So as we know more, I promise I will share more. Also, In addition to stimulus checks, one thing that we are hearing is that right now there's a lot of things being asked of the current administration. There's Democrats that are asking for additional unemployment benefits. But right now, many Democrats won't actually commit to providing additional unemployment. They don't want to commit. They want to play it out and see what happens over the next few months until September 6th and see where the unemployment numbers actually are. Some say that the large $300 per week or $1,200 per month unemployment benefit or boost is actually a disincentive for people to go back to work. And some lawmakers are saying that there are so many reports saying that exact same thing that you can't help but believe some of it must be true. It can't be 100% false. Some of it must be true. Yes, not every single person that is on unemployment is not going back to work because they're getting $1,200 per month. Some are not going back to work because their business closed down. Some are self-employed and their business is struggling. Some of them, are working for another company and their company is downsizing. So they didn't go under, they just don't want to hire them back. And so that's kind of the issue we're seeing at this point. And yes, obviously some don't want to go back to work because they're making more on unemployment than they are if they went back to work and risk contracting COVID. So that's a big issue as well. But some say that right now this labor shortage is not only caused because of the unemployment benefits. So some lawmakers are just worried if they extend unemployment and they push it one step further, that some states are just going to go against them. And if these are Democratic states where we got Democratic governors, then the issue is the Democratic Party looks, not very united at this time. And that's not something that, Democrats want to see right now. But again, that's something that we're starting to get reports on, that there's a chance unemployment may not get extended. And again, I just want to say that I feel for all those people that currently are on unemployment, that are needing that money, and it's essential for them to live. But as of right now, that is currently where the signs are pointing, is there's not going to be an extension of unemployment benefits at this time. So we will see. And then we got millions of people who are about to face the fact that their unemployment benefits not just being extended, they will expire. These benefits, as soon as June 12th, they will expire in some states, meaning millions of people will be left out without any income whatsoever and rushing to find a job, any job that they can find. And here's where experts are saying this is going to create an additional crisis, a job search crisis. Let me break this down, because this is something that honestly I haven't even thought about. And then I read the article today and I watched a little video on it, and I thought, you know what, this is insane. This is truly going to happen. So here's what they're saying. Getting a job is not a bad thing. You need a job, but rushing to secure any job, even if you are overqualified for it, is where experts say could be a major problem, and not for those that have a higher education. Here's what they're saying. They say that college-educated workers will have an upper hand in this job search, meaning those without a college degree or those that don't have much experience will be left out. If you look, you go apples to apples. All right, do I want, I'm going to pay, $15 an hour to somebody that is going to help me be an assistant manager at McDonald's. All right, cool. Do I want somebody with a bachelor's degree in finance, right? Or, economics? Or do I want somebody that has a high school, diploma and they've worked 2 years at Burger King? Well, this one has experience, but this one, they have a college degree. Cool. $15 per hour, I'm going to go with the college degree. And so the person that actually had experience, has worked in fast food before, no, they get left out, right? They only have a high school diploma, not a bachelor's degree. Okay. So in other words, the lower income earners from before are going to be squeezed out of their previous jobs due to higher education. And like I said before, the employers are not going to hire back as many people as they once had. Number one, because they figured out ways to kind of limit their workforce. They don't need as many people. So they are more efficient. They're outsourcing. They're using other businesses to really build their own business. Right? That's what we're going to start to see. This is exactly what experts are warning. And this is where experts say that more must be given to those that are truly in need, because the lower income individuals, the lower income earners, Those are the ones that typically do not have a college degree, have absolutely no college whatsoever, may not even have a high school diploma. Maybe it's just a GED, or they don't even have a diploma whatsoever. If that's the case, or maybe no experience, that's where we're going to see the lower income individuals, the lower income earners. They are going to be squeezed out of their jobs. And this is where experts say that was going to be a job search crisis, because the higher income earners are just going to be dropped down into the middle income, to the lower income, until they can find a job. And again, this is good. Everyone's going to have a job, or a lot of people will, but the lower income earners will not. They will be squeezed out. Again, I'm just trying to report what is currently being said, because honestly, when I read this, I was thinking, you know what? That's true. That will happen. And I'm not saying this, I don't want to go as far as saying I guarantee this is going to happen, but this is going to happen to many people. I guarantee people are going to experience this exact same thing. But does it happen all across the country? Honestly, only time will tell. So this is where the call for community college, or free community college, actually comes in. This is also where the urgency for student loan forgiveness is coming into play. And this is where additional stimulus for lower income earners is being discussed the most. People say that we need to provide for our lower income earners, and that's true. Trickle up economics doesn't start in the middle. It doesn't start at the top. Trickle up economics starts at the bottom, the lower income earners. There's more low income earners than the high income earners, than the billionaires, right? The Jeff Bezos. There's not very many of them, but there's a lot of people that make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 per year. That's the lower income earners, and those are the people that currently Congress and Democrats want to provide additional assistance for. So, even though millions of people will be out of work and looking for any income they can find, Congress is set to try their best to provide for lower income earners and people that are currently in poverty. So, this probably sounds very similar to what happened last year, where Congress is just looking for different ideas and solutions, and they're doing that wait and see approach. But honestly, right now, according to reports, is Congress doesn't have any other option. They have no other option, because right now Republicans, they're not going to agree to what Democrats want. Democrats are not going to agree to what Republicans want. President Biden wants a bipartisan package on infrastructure, yet many Democrats won't even go for that. Many Democrats are going to vote against a bipartisan deal because the Biden administration is dropping their offer too much. So right now, our entire government, our entire administration is pretty much just spinning their wheels. Congress doesn't know what to do, and so honestly, they're all putting together different plans, different proposals, but nobody's really jumping forward and say, yeah, let's do that, let's do this, let's put all these different plans together, and there we got a bill. Let's vote on it. Nobody's doing that. So we'll see what happens. But as we know more regarding stimulus, unemployment, our economy, and what the Biden administration plans on doing, I promise I will keep you updated and informed. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.